Claim, and your counterclaim really is almost as ridiculous as your mother's claim.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the wildest, saddest, and most entertaining cases where family members brought each other to Judge Judy Sheindlin's courtroom.
She's a pot stirrer.
No, I do not.
She's...
Number 10, Don't Look at Me. Plaintiff Joshua Pritchard was assaulted by his girlfriend Molly's brother-in-law over stolen money.
The camera was turned over, slot machine was broken into, money was gone.
In what is possibly a Judge Judy first, the guy who committed physical assault in this case comes out looking like the sane one. The judge usually doesn't have time for emotional litigants, but she's surprisingly delicate with Molly, who's clearly overwhelmed.
What's your first name? Molly. Take a breath.
While the plaintiff had a restraining order against the defendant, it seems that he purposefully took up a job at a location that he knew the latter frequented, probably with the purpose of getting the defendant in trouble. The whole thing reeks of dysfunctional family drama.
If you were scared to go out of the house,
Yes.
what did you take a job for at a casino where you knew the defendant frequented?
When all is said and done, we're just left feeling sorry for the messy situation. Number 9, Evicting Mum. Years of resentments boil over in this case.
She said, after we go to Judge Judy, when we come back, I'm throwing you out on the streets and I'm selling the house.
An elderly woman sues her daughter over an unreturned loan and a trailer home. The daughter comes with a tale about her mother's attempts to cheat the government and that the loan was actually a gift. The daughter refuses to sign an order that would keep her from evicting her mother, losing the sympathy of the audience and the judge.
That's either I am prepared to sign it or I'm not.
No, I'm not. No, you're not.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
It appears that she wants to have her cake and eat it too by owning the trailer, but not wanting her mother to have secure housing. No one is interested in her sob stories.
When she had given me this trailer, okay, my mother has not been in my life.
Just a second. I'm not interested in your sob stories.
By the end of the case, the judge has shamed her into signing an order to secure her mother's residence in the trailer. Number 8, Open door policy. We all go through some tough times. Sometimes you gotta move back home with mum. It usually doesn't end in a restraining order though.
So we didn't get evicted. You left on your own?
No.
How did you leave?
There was a false restraining order on us.
Once Judge Judy starts getting straight answers out of these slightly uncooperative plaintiffs, she hears their case against the man's mother and stepfather. It starts to sound more like a dispute between a teenage boy and his parents than a grown man.
She took our door off the hinges because she tried to collect $100 weekly instead of monthly. You just told me that the rent was $100 a week.
That's what yeah.
Apparently, at one point, the mother harassed them over things like paying rent and helping with errands. The judge doesn't even need the parents to say a word. She's got less sympathy than usual, and that's a low bar.
Case is dismissed. We're done.
No, please, can I?
We're done!
Number 7, we are family. Well, kind of. Family dynamics can be difficult to navigate. They can be especially complicated when you don't know if someone is your nephew, cousin, or your best friend's son.
I think he's the third cousin.
So it's not a relationship that's actually...
But we're closer than that. We are
Fine.
a family.
I just like to keep things straight.
Judge Judy likes to keep things as legal and formal as possible. So when the plaintiff starts things off in this case by confusing the judge with her relationship to her witness, we can already tell this one's gonna be a headache.
I like to know
what the relationship
what the relationship is, especially when you swear that he's your nephew. Now he's your best friend's son.
A nasty custody battle and a who paid for what line of thinking lead to disagreements about who owes the plaintiff rent. It's so satisfying to watch the judge's verbal smackdown on the plaintiff's nephew cousin.
I like orders for Menards. I unload trucks. I paint houses. I pour concrete.
You do everything except pay child support.
Number 6, this is not like a kitten. Technically, it's a property damage case.
Your stepdaughter and your daughter caused some damage to both the house and later to a car.
Yes.
However, the family drama at the center of this case is what makes it memorable. When Valencia Carroll asks her mother to take in her friend's baby, her stepfather clearly gave her an answer she didn't want to hear.
Your stepfather, according to you, came in and said, "What are you trying to do? You want us to take this baby so that you and your friends could go out partying and having a good time?
The defendant's elaborate story about how a TV and a car was damaged makes about as much sense as her logic behind trying to hand her mum full-time care of a baby. It's clear she lost her cool and just didn't want to hear the word no.
It's not like you're pawning off a kitten, you know. This is not a kitten.
Your Honor, like I said, the
Or a
offer was
bird.
made.
Number 5. Childhood savings.
My father, I believe, decided it's probably safer to put the money in the bank.
Having earned money as a teenager and placed it in a savings account, the now grown plaintiff decided to cash out and put the funds towards buying a house with her new husband. Lo and behold, she comes to find out that the account has been closed 7 years before, and the money was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, when I started looking for it and the bank said that they didn't have any information, I thought it was strange. I thought that the bank was trying to cheat me or something, and that's when I started asking for some help.
She suspects her mother of fault, as she was the only other person listed on the account. Even if she is innocent and it was a bank error, her mother doesn't even seem bothered that her daughter's money is gone. She just keeps repeating, "I don't remember."
Your Honor, I really don't remember if I closed the account or not. I mean, if I did, it was because she asked me to.
No, that's not what I'm asking you.
Whatever the case may be, the evidence unfortunately just isn't there. Number 4, she's a pot stirrer. It's like a sitcom plot gone wrong. Plaintiff Patricia Reynante's incessant correcting, speaking out of turn, and outbursts don't endear her to anyone in the room, let alone the judge.
She's too involved in your business.
No, I'm not. She drags me into the business.
Listen to me. I didn't ask you a question.
She truly is the epitome of a difficult mother-in-law. Whether she wants it or not, drama just seems to follow her. She is unable to hear anything she disagrees with, and she has decided her right to see her granddaughter trumps a restraining order.
And she said, I have a restraining order, can get rid of her.
Absolutely
so I was
right.
asked to, and I get that. I
Absolutely
understand, and I
right.
knew that was going to happen.
Judge Judy doesn't necessarily agree with Reynante's take on the law. She skewers the plaintiff for the entire audience, pointing out that she is the problem in the whole situation. Reynante, true to form, disagrees.
And if it's not good for you to be around a grandparent, for whatever reason, either because they're a pot stirrer,
Not a pot stirrer.
Number 3, don't speak. A death in the family can be incredibly stressful, especially when money is involved.
It was irritating, but not for the reasons you say. It was not monetarily driven. I care for my sister.
I understand.
It was a surprise. It always just
it was
a surprise.
It was a surprise.
Upon his sister's death, the hot-headed plaintiff was shocked when she left all of her money to their cousin. Although the plaintiff insists the case is not about the money, the judge cuts right through that idea.
As a relative, don't think that you're getting the appropriate love from the deceased by way of monetary reward. It's irritating.
It's not her first rodeo after all, and let's just say this irritates him. He can barely keep from blurting out responses throughout the case.
Can you ask what date that was filed?
Okay.
But the judge takes mercy on him when she realizes the cousin might not exactly have clean hands regarding property damage and insurance payout. You know, it's a messy case when someone who has to be told several times not to speak still walks away a winner. Number 2, I'm suing my mother. There are a lot of unhealed wounds in this case.
And it is your claim that she had you falsely arrested a little over a year ago for both stealing her property and for assaulting your sister.
Plaintiff Glenn Hazelton's lawsuit against his mother for false arrest is ultimately unfounded, but his behavior in court and his mother's downcast demeanor make this one hard to swallow. From storming out after being asked about his arrest record to his slightly impaired speech, Hazelton has a hard time communicating with the judge.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Let me first say this.
I asked you a question, Mr. Hazelton. We had
no,
an
I was
agreement.
not high. I was not high. No, I was not on no drugs.
Meanwhile, his mother is forced to tell how her late daughter was assaulted by the plaintiff when he attempted to steal her TV. The way his mother is positioned facing away from him the entire time makes this one horribly sad.
She said she came home in an ice pack, but there's no bruises or marks on her. I hit her 3 times. It's all a lie.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, rigor mortis stew. Family disputes on court shows are usually a bit more dramatic and a lot less hilarious than Dettenheim versus Dettenheim.
And her defense is you should have had better insurance. Is that your defense?
I thought she had full coverage.
Plaintiff Eve Dettenheim sues her sister Carol for damages to her car, resulting from a collision with a deer. Carol had a pretty novel way of making amends.
Went and got what later?
The deer.
What'd you do with it?
Ate it.
She cooked the dead deer, then offered some meat to her sister. This one has some of the best quotes in the history of the show, or possibly in the history of any legal case.
She'll do stuff like rev up her engine in the morning trying to wake up my son and stuff, trying to make my life hard, and it's become an issue. It's like the Hatfield McCoys or something.
From the plaintiff's amazing refusal to eat her sister's rigor mortis stew, to the judge asking who the defendant relies on to do her thinking for her. This is classic Judge Judy. What are some memorable Judge Judy family disputes that we forgot? Lodge your complaints in the comments.
This is your family. These two children are your family. You made them. Fool.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.